Up Late with Johnny Potenza is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Coming to you live from the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's Up Late with Johnny Potenza. Please welcome the host of Up Late, Johnny Potenza.
Yes. What a lovely audience. Welcome to the Up Late with Johnny Potenza Christmas special / holiday special. How's everybody doing? Yeah. So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Everybody out there? Yeah. Thanksgiving is like one of my favorite. It's probably not. It is the busiest holiday of the year. It's one of my favorites. And Christmas, I'm sure, like everybody else, and whatever holiday you celebrate, but eating and drinking, nothing like that with the family, right? Even if you don't drink, there's more for me, so that's what But we got a great show for you tonight, okay? Our first guest up tonight, he's the host of the TV talk show Profiles. We got the one and only Mickey Burns in the house. Yeah. This guy, I've been working for the last 5 years to get this guy on my show. We'll talk about that later. But he's here tonight. He's hailing from Staten Island, the one and only comedian Richie Byrne. Yeah. My musical acts, we got New Jersey's own, the Eddie Testa Band. Yeah. I love it. I dig it. And I got a special guest tonight. I'm going back in nostalgia of my old show, the Late Night with Johnny P show. I used to use female co-hosts. And she did a handful of dozen shows with me. She's an actress, and she's here tonight. We got Lilo Grunwald here tonight. Give her a hand. And she'll be co-hosting the show with me tonight, so it's going to be a good time. So, Eddie, what's going on, buddy?
Man, how are you? Thank you for having us.
Good to see you guys. You guys look good. You sound great. Appreciate you coming. So what's happening?
Doing our thing, man, as always, Happy that everyone's here. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah. Well, listen, do your thing. Let's show everybody what you got. The Eddie Testa Band.
Never wanted nobody, baby, like I want you. And I can't tell you all my confession, but well, these things are true. 'Cause when I see you come around, and my heart begins to pop. 'Cause when we walk, when we talk, do like lovers do. Don't want nobody but you. When I walk on a crowded street and I see your face, do you lose or sometimes it feels so Don't want nobody but you. Oh, I just wanna hold you. Let me wrap my love around your heart. And I just never want to miss your tender touch, your soft kiss. When I walk on the crowded street and I see your face, the illusion sometimes when it feels so real, it can't be erased. 'Cause when I see you come around, and my heart beats so fast. 'Cause when we walk, when we talk, feel like lovers do. Don't want nobody, don't want no guess how. When we walk, when we talk, do like lovers do. Don't want nobody but you. Oh, baby. Don't want nobody but you. Oh, yeah, now. Don't want nobody but you. Oh, baby. Thank you so much. Now we're going to slow it down a little bit for you, a little sexy stuff. Got me in a loving way, always take my breath away. You do. I can't help the way I feel. Love I got for Do me right. So, you guys enjoying everything here tonight? All right, I'm going to bring my son Giovanni up. He's going to play a couple songs with us. Giovanni's here. We're going to do our own Christmas song right now. Is that all right? It's called Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. Baby, it's Christmas. That kind of year. Everyone gathers, bringing holiday cheer. Forget all your worries. Don't let them go. And baby, beat me tonight under the mistletoe. Choirs are singing, oh silent night. Children excited for Santa to arrive. Some kind of magic touches everyone's soul. So baby, meet me tonight under the mistletoe. Raise up your glasses and toast a good time. Oh baby, it's Christmas. Let's do it right. Sleigh bells are ringing, Santa's on his way. You'll be the best present on Christmas Day. How we feeling out there, all right? Snowflakes are falling, fire still aglow. Soft music playing, let's turn the lights down low. Everyone's gone now, let's let our love show. And baby, meet me tonight under the mistletoe. Yeah, baby, meet me tonight under the mistletoe. Yeah, baby, meet me tonight under the mistletoe. Merry Christmas. Oh, yeah. All right, that's one of ours. What we got? We're going to do one with Johnny P now. We're going to bring Johnny P up, play a little drums with us. So, everybody put your hats on. No, nobody go home yet. Johnny P is playing. Uh-oh, he's getting his rock outfit on. All right, where's your tambourine? Oh, look at this little elf. Look at my new elf. All right. So let's hear for Johnny P. Been playing drums since he's 12 years old. Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago. He still acts 12, we know that. Ready to do this? All right, you guys a little hand clapping out there. Let's have a little fun. All right. Come on now. Bring it down, boys. We got to see what this elf can do with this tambourine. There he is. All right. So Johnny's doing a good job so far, don't you agree? see no hand clapping going on out there. Let's go, people. Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did treat me nice. Yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did treat me nice. And I feel like I'm living in paradise. Well, I feel real good tonight. I'm on the Johnny P. Talk Show. I feel real good tonight. I got music on my radio. And I feel like I wanna kiss you underneath the mistletoe. Alright, listen up here. Santa came down the chimney 3:30 with 9 little presents for my baby and me. Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did treat me nice. Alright. Well, I feel like I'm living in paradise. All right, bring it up, boys. Let's go. Woo! Let's see some hand clapping out there. Come on. Chimney 3:30 with some little presents for my baby. Oh, Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did do me right. Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like I'm living in paradise. Oh, yeah. Come on, I said, Merry Christmas, baby. Christmas, baby. All right, come on. Merry Christmas, baby. All right. Merry Christmas, baby. All right. And Happy New Year. Yeah. Come on now. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, baby. Christmas, baby. Johnny P on the drums, everybody. Let me introduce the band. Jay Bowes on the sexy saxophone. Giovanni on the guitar. Jeff Hawk on the guitar. Ilya Stevkovsky on the drums. Neil DeSimone on the piano. And the bass man, Ron Haney. All right, thank you guys for putting up with us.
All right, the Eddie Testa Band. Co-host with me tonight from the Up Late with Johnny Potenza show, we have Lilo Grunwald here tonight, actress. What's going on, my friend? Sorry for the turnaround introduction, but you're here.
I'm here.
You were here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for bringing me back.
Now, listen, we've been wanting to get you back for. Last time you were here was 5 years ago, the Christmas special.
Wow.
Second to last show before we retired, the late night show.
That was 5 years ago?
Yeah, actually, what was it? December 17, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you remember who was on the show or no?
I remember fat rat bastard
Yeah,
Patrami.
Jeff Parami.
Parami, yes.
Goomba Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
God bless. You know,
and
rest
Jeff
in peace.
Parami
Yeah.
passed away everybody remembers Jeff Fat Bastard Parami passed away.
Yeah.
Great talent.
That was a good show.
That was a good show.
Really good show. I can't believe it's been that long.
I had a helmet haircut that night because I just did a thing with the Irishman a month before. They wanted me to grow my hair.
Yes.
So I had like the George Jetson hairstyle takes about 4 months to get that DA going in. Every time I see that wants to show with us, I'm like, that hair, man. But anyway, what's been going on? I mean, post-COVID.
I know. I've been busy. I'm finding it really hard to believe that it was that long ago because it feels like yesterday.
Everything's yesterday.
Seriously. And, COVID, I can't believe that was like 2 years of COVID stuff. But I've been busy. I've been making movies.
Good.
Yeah, I've been making lots of movies. I was down in the Dominican Republic back in April.
That would have been nice.
Netflix. Yeah, you got to love Netflix.
Good,
Flying me down, right? That'll be coming out probably next year. I'm not sure when. It's called Naiad. Look for it. I play, it's a true life story of Diana Naiad, and I play her ex-wife.
All right.
And I've been doing a lot of indie films and just keeping busy.
Yeah, and you're constantly working.
Yeah. Gotta hustle. Gotta hustle.
Gotta hustle. do that hustle thing going on.
Yeah.
And we did, me and Lilo, we did the Big Ann show with Joe Franklin. We won a couple of awards for that.
That was an amazing show.
Yeah.
Yeah, those memories keep popping up with Big Ange and Joe Franklin.
We had over 125 people in the audience. It was
crazy.
Through the whole place.
Oh, that was an insane audience that night. That was off the hook.
Yeah, it was good. And everything went smooth.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Right?
Yeah, not too many stops and starts. And yeah, Big Ange, she was big character, wasn't she?
So did you eat enough when you got here? You fed?
Yeah, I was fed, but I did notice, and I wanted to bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up. I saw a lot of people out there with lunch boxes, brown paper bags, and I was wondering, does Johnny P feed everybody? What is going on? Isn't there enough food?
Yeah.
There was plenty of food, right?
Listen, I didn't notice that because I'm running around over here. The reason why this is the situation, we always been catering food. I mean, technically, when you're running a big show at a public access station, you got a whole volunteer crew and staff. You're supposed to feed everybody, and you want to feed everybody. I mean, when I volunteer for people's shows like Vito Pacone, he's the one who I actually, when I worked for him years ago before I was doing my show, doing camera, he used to bring all this food, and I used to be impressed. I'm like, wow, he has a lot of food here for everybody. So then when I started doing my show, I was like, I got to, Vito being Italian, me being Italian, Italians like to eat. And I was like, I got to start bringing food. And, everyone has to eat, and you got to feed your guest. And Paulie from Nucci's Restaurant has been sponsoring this, not sponsor, we can't say sponsor, but he's been donating to the show forever. And,
Thank you.
And there,
it
Paulie.
was delicious.
Paulie's actually coming on the show. Yeah, let's get it for Paulie. Paulie, finally, we're going to bring him on the show. Everyone says, why don't you bring Paulie down for Nucci? So he's going to come on early and talk about the restaurant business post-COVID.
By the way, your playing was outstanding with the Eddie Testa band.
I appreciate it. Easy song, but thank you so much.
Oh, well, so nice to watch him play, right?
When you got a great band, it's easy to play.
Yeah.
And usually when I play with the bands, I talk to them, they give me a song, and I learn them, and we do a sound check here, and that's it. We just go through it. And I just tell them, give me a song that's nice and easy that ain't going to stress me out too much.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want you stressed out. We don't want him stressed out.
I get stressed out
right,
enough.
Audience? No stress, Johnny P. No stress.
Yeah, so that's the reason.
Didn't you go out to L.A.? Didn't you go on vacation for your birthday?
So I was in Florida for 4 days. My cousin works for NASA. My cousin Lisa Potenza. She's actually, one of the smart Potenzas in the family. So I went out with her for 4 days, and then I flew from there to Palm Springs, and I hung out with my good friend Sean Kanan, who was in the last season of Cobra Kai and General Hospital, Bold and Beautiful, Young and the Restless, Karate Kid 3. I keep going on.
We all know him. He is quite handsome.
His wife just, he is. His wife just got inducted into the Palm Springs Walk of Fame. Mm-hmm. So I got invited to the ceremony.
Oh, so you did a little red carpet?
Yeah, it was nice time.
Oh.
Mingled, met a lot of people. It was long overdue. I came back with feeling nice and relaxed.
Nice. Did any strange occurrences happen while you were out in L.A.?
Just what? That I almost got, you want me to tell them why I almost got robbed when I was leaving out of there?
You did?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you the whole gory details because forget it. But I was leaving. The morning I was leaving to get onto the plane, to get to LAX, and I'm walking to get a bottle of water. I rented a Lincoln Continental.
Oh.
I had to play the part,
Mm-hmm.
So I went to go get a bottle of water, and this I'm not going to say races or nationalities or nothing because it's that type of world we live in today. But guy called me a bad word, and he goes, "What'd you say?" Blah blah blah. And then I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "What'd you say?" And he came in my face like Mr. T and Rocky.
Ooh,
and
scary.
he's like, "You got money?" I go, "Get out of here!" And I pushed him away. So then he went to grab something. I picked up a bottle, everybody, and I didn't get to do a Joe Pesci on him, but I wung it at his head, and it went. It clunked him off the head, and he goes, this guy's crazy. He's trying to rob me. And then I just said, okay, good. I walked away, and I didn't even get my water. I said, let me get the hell out of here.
Wow.
And then I went back to the airport. So you think I was wrong to hit him with a bottle? No. Yeah, I really wanted to do with Joe Pesci. I always wanted to do that. Hit the guy in the head with a bottle.
That's super scary.
But you know what? It just took me by surprise.
Sure.
I was just in such a good mood, and this guy really came in my face. You got money? I was like, get out of here. And then he looked like he was going to come after me, so I just my street instinct picked up the bottle on the bus stop, and I couldn't swing it. I just went, whoa, and I knocked him in the head with it. And that was it. So that's my little story.
Yeah, well, that's in your New York upbringing.
Yeah, what are you going to do? I didn't even tell my friend yet. I'm going to tell him when I talk to him in a couple of weeks. He's a little busy right now.
Yeah.
So that's it. So
All
you
right.
want to bring on our first guest?
Yes, I would love to bring on our first guest. Who is our first guest?
Who's our first guest?
Our first guest
There you
up
Go for it.
is Mickey Burns. Am I correct?
Yeah.
All right, our first guest up. Please give a big round of applause for Mickey Burns. He is the host of Profiles, and he has done a zillion shows. Let's bring him on, folks.
Yeah.
Happy holidays. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. All right, so thanks for having me on your show. I watch it all the time.
It's my pleasure, and vice versa.
I'm a fan, and you do a great job.
I tried, thank you. You see what goes on here. It's a lot of work.
But it's worth it.
Yeah. I got to take medication before I come here, like an hour before.
You're putting out some great entertainment.
That's what it's all about. At the end of the day,
yes,
when all the hard work and the editing is done, 9 out of 10 times, it's a very much happy thing to do.
Sure it is. Keep it up.
Meet a lot of cool people. Thank you. So what's going on with you? Listen, you're celebrating actually your 20th year and 600th episode?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Well, I love what I do. I started right across the hall at Time Warner 25 years ago.
Wow.
And we were doing a news magazine, and it was called Special Edition. And within that show, we did a 4-minute segment of a celebrity profile. And one day, I was at Sardi's interviewing Danny Aiello.
Oh, wow.
And I need 4 minutes, and I interviewed him for 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So I came back across the hall, and I said, how are we going to do this, And I said, but what I did learn was these celebrities really want long-form interview opportunities.
Yeah, you're right.
Instead of being on Jimmy Fallon, and it's more like,
in and out.
What's your new show, and how's your dog?
Yeah.
And they're out.
Yeah.
So in a half hour, you could really get a lot accomplished. So that's what started the seed 600 shows ago, 20 years ago.
See, that's awesome. I mean, as you said, 4 minutes goes into 40 minutes. A lot of times we go over, and it's hard to edit that down.
It sure is. That was our challenge. So we had even today when we do our 30-minute show of profiles, sometimes we go for 45 minutes and have to edit that down to 30. And how do you take out 15 minutes of a compelling interview?
It's a long time watching.
That's your challenge, you know?
Yeah, you got to watch everything, and you got to make sure you're not cutting in the middle of the conversation off. It's tough.
And as you know, as a host, you don't want to cut off the guest.
No.
Sometimes they're really telling stories that are compelling, so you have to let them go and try to fix it in the editing process.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, of the 600 episodes, there's something interesting in almost every one of them.
Yeah, tell me a funny story, because I know you had a couple of great ones.
A couple? We've had hundreds of them.
Yeah, after 600
interviews. But just the other day, interestingly, one of my favorite bands was Leonard Skinner.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
The best. They were the tightest band of all time,
Yeah,
right?
well, I'm a 70 guy, yeah.
So you know. And I had Artemis Pyle, who was the drummer of that band. And he was in the plane crash in '77 that killed Ronnie Van Zant, the lead singer, and several other band members.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was terrible. And the plane crashed. They ran out of gas, believe it or not, in Mississippi. And when the plane crashed, 8 people were killed, 16 or 17 survived. He was one. And he crawled out of the plane, and he found himself in a snake-infested swamp in Mississippi.
Wow.
And he crawled through the swamp. He had internal injury. This is what he's telling me during the interview last week. Blood coming down, but he spotted a light in the distance. He wanted to get help for those that were injured. So he finally makes it to the farmhouse, and the farmer is outside the house, sees him, thinks he's crazy and a robber or whatever, and tells Artemis, stop. And Artemis is delirious from the plane crash and keeps coming, and the farmer shoots him in the shoulder.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And he said to me, Mickey, that's a bad day.
Yeah.
That's a bad day.
That is
he
a
has
bad day.
the airplane crash, almost gets killed, crawls through the snake-infested swamp, ends up getting shot. Then the farmer realized he made a mistake and took Artemis back to the plane, and they tried to get help for those that had survived.
I mean, that's amazing itself. When I was on the plane a couple months ago, they were talking. They were like, at least if we go down in the plane, we won't feel it. I told the lady, she goes, don't talk like that. I go, but it's true. We're going to have anxiety going down, but once you're done, but anyone who survives a plane crash like that, unbelievable.
Well, yeah. I mean, he said he relives it every day.
Talk about
and
being
it was
humble.
45 years ago.
Oh, he has to relive that. It's like
Every day.
almost like Vietnam.
Did they ever make a movie about that?
They just did, and he wrote it.
Oh.
And is it coming out or is it out?
It's out 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And
We got to see it.
The truth of the Leonard Skinner plane crash.
Was it documentary
It's
style?
like a documentary.
Oh, so we need a movie.
You know, and Artemis he wrote it. So
Okay.
it's out there. So as I said, there's always something.
Yeah.
You know, a nugget in there or something you'll never forget.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's...
Now, Mickey,
Yes.
you wrote 2 books.
Yes.
Can we talk about your books? Because I mean, you've gone from you were an athlete, you're a teacher, you're a coach, and by the way,
Yes.
you have a broadcaster voice,
I should
100%.
right?
Well, Lilo,
It's just so soothing.
I
right?
always say I should have gone into radio.
Right.
Then I wouldn't have had to buy any suits, and I never have to shave again.
Well, it's a great voiceover voice. I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
why are we no cartoon characters
Nothing
or anything
at all,
like that?
No, just TV.
All right,
That's
so
it.
let's talk about your books.
All right. Well, the first one, I wrote because I have so many stories, like I just mentioned to John.
Yeah.
Over the 20 years, I said, let me put those in a book, and maybe other people in the business might be able to learn as they're trying to get their foot in the door. Mm-hmm. And that was the motivation for writing the book. That was the first book. So it's a memoir, how I got into broadcasting and all the things that I learned through the years.
Right.
Second book, I wrote
And
Johnny.
the first book, by
Oh,
the
it's-
way, is From the Projects
Yes.
to
The Profile.
Profiles, a memoir.
Yes.
So you knew Vito Pacone back then, I guess. Right? Yeah.
He was
Your neighbor?
He was one of my heroes
Yeah.
at the time. Yes. Yeah, well, we grew up in the same place. Yes.
And it was nice, that area back in the
It
day.
was very nice. Yes. I don't know if it's still that way.
It's
but
okay.
It's okay.
But it wasn't like it was back when your day, and then
No,
Coney
it was-
Island and all that
it
stuff.
was great. It was so. That book was. I think I did that in 2019. Still available on Barnes and Noble and all of the.
Barnes & Noble even around anymore?
Yeah, they are.
they're-
Oh, okay.
especially online.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. And the second book is Inside Celebrity Profiles,
Yeah, what happened
a
was during the
visual journey.
Yes, I'm sorry I cut you short, but
No.
that's a visual journey. And what happened was it was during the pandemic, and we were having trouble doing our interviews like you're doing tonight. So I said to my photographer, who's been with me for 20 years, like your photographer
Yeah.
here tonight, I said to him one day, how many photos have you taken over 20 years on the set? He says, oh, that's a good question. I have no idea, but I'll call you tonight. He did. And he said, I have 14,562 photos over 20 years.
Yeah.
So I called up the publisher who did the first book, and they said, oh, you got to do a coffee table book. So I spent the whole summer of the pandemic with my people going through the 14,000 photos.
That's a lot. Yeah, you got to go through all of them.
And then we broke it up into categories: singers, actors, athletes, comedians, and so forth. And it came out really good.
Wow.
I was very happy.
That's
I gotta
awesome.
check that
We got to
out.
check it out. I want to do a book one day. I really do, but I have to be mentally ready for it.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and I mean, it's on your mind all the time.
Yeah.
And you have to allot time to it.
You have to put this on hold for 6 months to show.
Oh, it took me a year and a half for the first one.
Oh, you did?
Sure. And I would be on the ferry going to Manhattan, and I'd get a thought, and I'm looking for a piece of paper.
Yeah.
To capture that, write that thought down,
yeah.
and I would actually get off the ferry and sit down and for 20 minutes write before I lose the thought. But it took a year and a half.
Yeah.
I want it to be like the music business into the entertainment business.
Sure.
The stress, the hustle and the bustle.
Yeah.
The ups and downs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. It's a lot of fun, but it's not easy. Now, Mickey,
Yes.
you just got inducted into the Staten Island Hall of Fame, right?
Sports Hall of Fame.
Sports Hall of Fame.
Which
Talk about that.
What an honor. I'm in there with Bobby Thompson
That's
and
awesome.
Anarumo, the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's such an honor. It kind of immortalizes you in some way.
What was your sport?
Well, I was played on football.
Okay.
Was my number one sport. My second sport was baseball. So I played on a New Dorp High School city championship team.
Okay.
And led the city in scoring my senior year.
Oh, cool.
And earned a scholarship to Missouri Valley College
great.
out in the Midwest. So that's that. But I also, when I came back from college, I was a coach. And I coached basketball at McKee High School. And we're going back a few years, Leo.
Just a few.
Yeah.
That's
But
all right.
in 1977-78, my team that I coached is the only team ever from Staten Island to make it to the city championship game.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Did you
That's
get?
quite an honor.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's all right.
Did you get injured back then?
No.
That made you stop?
Well, it's a great question, John, and I appreciate you asking that. Because I played 4 years in high school, 4 years in college, and that was tough football out there because we played in Texas and Nebraska, Iowa, and after I finished my senior year, I had enrolled in graduate school because I was the first person in my family to go to college, graduate college.
That's something.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
So I was already enrolled in graduate school, and my coach handed me a letter. And I remember it had a red logo, and it was from the Washington Redskins. And I opened it up, and it was a letter from Vince Lombardi. That was his first year. He left Green Bay, and now he was coaching at Washington.
Wow.
Saying, Mickey, our scouts saw you play against so-and-so, and we'd like you to come to camp this summer. And I decided for that reason, one of the reasons was that I had gone 8 years without any really injuries, without any serious injuries. That's a big deal,
That's
right?
a big deal, definitely.
But the biggest reason was back in 1970, you didn't make a lot of money playing pro football.
No?
No, the only Joe Namath made a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
But and I think he signed for $400,000.
But that then was like 5 times the amount of money it is now.
Well, yeah, it is. But the average
Probably 6, but
the
yeah,
average
you're right.
player in 1970 made $40,000.
Wow.
And worked after the season, had another job.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. That was not like it is.
Pro football players on football cards and everything, they had to get another job?
Yes. They were liquor salesmen, car salesmen.
I didn't know that.
They did whatever they had to do to make ends meet. So money was not an incentive. If it was today, I would have won on the next train.
Yeah.
So I decided, because I was already enrolled in graduate school, to continue my education. And that's what I did. And I have no regrets.
Yeah, listen.
I can still walk around.
If your heart told you to do that, you would have did it.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's almost your time. What's next for you, Mickey?
Well, I continue, I guess trying to reach 700 episodes. Well, that's what's happened. We got to 200. Our goal was to get to 300. And then you want to get to 400 and so on and so forth.
How many shows you do a week?
Well, it depends on what celebrities are available at that time. So we kind of work around the celebrity availability.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like next week, we have 3 interviews.
And you're in the city doing this?
We do it in Soho.
Okay, yeah. See,
Oh,
you're in a
nice.
prime location to get more people there.
And they have great coffee up there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I'll be
Soho.
there in a
It's
lickety
Soho.
split.
We used to do it in Times Square. And then when the pandemic hit, they closed the studio down, and then we moved to Soho. So that's, that's where we're at now.
All
and it's
right.
great. The celebrities love, especially the women coming to the show, because they do the show, go shopping.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
That would be me. That would be me. I have a final question for
Yes,
you, if
yeah,
you
sure.
don't mind.
No, go for it.
So, Mickey, do you have any advice for the young people out there looking to get into broadcasting?
Yeah.
And that's a great question, and I wrote about that in my book.
Oh, get the book.
No,
Get the book.
and the advice that I have is get a mentor.
Yes.
Right? But get a mentor that will tell you the truth, all right? Because a mentor will say to you, I think you have ability, but you're going to need to improve A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah.
But then also that mentor needs to be honest enough with you to tell you, maybe you should try something else. There's no sense banging your head against the wall if you don't have the talent.
Yeah.
And a good mentor, will recognize that immediately. And then he can coach you to get to the next level. But either you have it or you don't. And sometimes you don't, and you need to move on to something else.
I mean, we could talk all night about all these stories. 'Cause I got
Yes.
stories, you got stories, but we definitely want to bring you back on in 2023.
I would love to come back.
And we'll finish
Because
the conversation.
I'm a fan of the show.
I appreciate it. You've
love
always been good supportive.
Well, I'm going to continue to be.
I appreciate it. Me too. And hopefully maybe one day we'll come on your show.
Absolutely. We'll do it. We'll bring everyone on,
Yeah.
including the band. I don't have a band. I love that thing.
Oh, listen, I love having the band.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody, Mickey Burns.
That's it. Thank you. Happy holidays, as they say.
Yeah.
All right, Mickey Burns. And my next guest up tonight, he's another Burns. And you know what happens when you have two Burns in the house? What? 911. That's it. So, hailing from Staten Island, let's give him an up-late welcome for comedian Richie Byrne.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Give it up for you guys. Look at all that. Look at all the faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smiling faces. You know what? You know what? It's so good. You know what the pandemic taught me? I have a huge head. Because I was going through like 7, 8 masks a day, man. Anybody just like, pa! Pa! I'm in the pharmacy. Pa! Woman comes over, where's your mask? I'm like, aisle 10. My mother couldn't take the quarantine, man. My mother would lose her mind during the quarantine. You call her up, she'd be like, I can't take it anymore. The loneliness, just being alone all the time, I just can't take it. No one to be around. The woman hasn't left the house in 14 years, people. If anyone was prepared for the pandemic, it was my mom. Yeah. I knew it was coming, though. I was prepared. I knew this was going to happen. I was so prepared, I gained the weight in 2012. I have gained weight, though, man. I know I've gained weight because I'm a guy. Guys always know when they've gained weight. You know why? Because they have other guys there to tell them. Men are mean. Women aren't like that. You're very nice. You're very classy. You wait till she leaves the room. You're big phonies. Not men. A guy gains a couple of pounds, walks a room full of guys. Guys are like, whoa, Tubby! And guys always ask the same stupid question when you've gained weight, right? Guys are always like, what happened? What happened? Is it a mystery? I don't know. I woke up, there it was. How long you been an idiot? That's a shame. But I'm old now, man. That's the problem. You can't just do what you did as a kid, right? I'm feeling old. Anybody feeling old? Yeah. Anybody wake up in the morning and everything hurts? What is that? What did you do in your sleep, right? I wake up, I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my buddy's like, what were you playing, football? I'm like, no, I was sleeping. Right there, I was sleeping. The bed kicked my ass. I sweat now for no reason. Anybody? I sweat, but I'm cold. I'm pretty sure I'm going through a change. Menopause. Have you heard about it? Menopause. I sweat when I eat. There's someone you want to go to dinner with, right? Why are you sweating? I'm eating. What are you eating? Ice cream. Eating ice cream, sweating. You know you sweat a lot when you're at the gym and someone comes up to you and goes, great workout, buddy. You're like, I just got here. Because I'm old, man. You know, I'm just, it's over, right? You know, I mean, everything's gone. I go to doctors all the time now. I got a little black book with doctor appointments. I used to have women's numbers. Now I got Dr. Cross, Thursday, 3:30. I don't even know what the hell he does, but I'm going. And here's how you know you're old. I'm getting there early. Old people get places earlier. Let's get there early in case we drop dead. We're there. I got an appointment Thursday, 3:30. I'm going Tuesday morning sitting there, people. Here's another perk to getting older. I'm getting shorter. Anybody got that going on? Since college, I've lost an inch. Everywhere. That's in my family, though. It's hereditary. My dad's shorter. My brother's shorter. My grandfather didn't die. We lost him. Oh, man, yeah, because my memory's shot. Anybody got that going on? I can't remember a thing. Can't believe I remember to come here. And I'm one of those old pains that like, I'm one of those guys that I will tell you a story, but I can't remember anybody's name that's in the story. So now we have to play 20 questions to figure out what the hell I'm talking about, right? I drive my brother crazy. I saw my brother the other day. I'm like, hey! I ran into that guy we grew up with. And he gets that look on his face, that here's 40 minutes of my life I'll never get back look. Right? What guy, Rich? The guy. You know. Like he's the moron, right? You know. That guy. We saw him every day when we were kids. I don't know, Phil? No, the guy. We saw him all the time growing up. Tony? No, the guy. He lived in our house. Dad? Dad! Dad. I saw Dad. He was with that lady. Mom. Mom! That's all my time. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Richie Byrne, and we got the man right here. What's up, Rich?
What's up, baby? Hello, brother. Long time.
Listen, people don't know the story. 5 years in the making getting this guy on the show.
I think it's more. I think it's 7. It's been a long time.
I'm trying to think because we first met, I think it was 2017. I went with my...
Was it? All right, then 5.
My in-laws. I met you, but then I see...
This man's relentless.
Yes,
he is.
I know.
Like
You are.
a bulldog.
You are relentless. And I finally could come on, and COVID hit.
Yeah, but every time you wanted to come on, it was conflict of
Right.
dates.
Right.
And then in 19 or 20, I don't know when
20.
it
It was May of 2020. I was supposed to do your show.
Yeah, but before that, Lisa Gianna, who works here, worked
right.
for Oz, and
Dr. Oz.
she introduced me personally to you.
Right. Because I did the warm-up for Dr. Oz for 11 years.
Yes.
The Dr. Oz show.
Yeah, well,
11.
I didn't warm up like when he went into surgery.
Since you brought that up now, why don't you talk about that? How'd you land the gig opening up for Dr. Oz?
Well, I got lucky. My friend Joey Cola.
Yes.
Joey Cola does warm-up. He's the king of warm-up. And they called him, and he recommended me.
That's great.
And he threw me to the wolves the first day, and Oz liked me. And we were together. I mean,
Steady.
I opened for him at Radio City Music Hall. That was so cool.
Wow.
You know, I went on the road with him, and we really hit it off. And
That's awesome.
yeah, and now when he's president, I'm hoping to be vice president.
That'd be mint. When I saw it, I go, this guy's got a great gig, you know. And
Yeah.
then I did some homework on you, and a lot of our friends, we know we're the same people
Yeah.
on the scene.
Yeah, definitely. And we both went to Wagner College.
I mean, yeah, talk
So
about
weird.
that fast.
We were both theater majors. And
Yeah, well, we just discovered this
Yeah.
through the power of social media on Facebook. Yeah, so
were-
you graduated. You were just leaving as I was coming
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
We know a lot of the same people. Yeah, it's such
Small
a
world
tiny,
after
world.
all, right?
Yeah.
tiny world. I have a question about warming up an audience,
Yes.
which many folks probably don't know out there.
Yeah.
If they've been a studio audience member, they know that there is a person there that does the jokes and warms the audience up.
Mm-hmm.
But what does it all entail?
It entails focus more than anything. It's about, you have to, which is very hard for a comic, and a lot of comics don't understand this. Your job is to get them focused on somebody else.
Yeah.
So you have to entertain them, and depending on the show,
some shows shoot live, which is great, and you're in and out. But like Dr. Oz, we would take 2 hours more to shoot one show. Wow. So think about the dead time. That's all me.
Yeah.
And my job was to make sure they stay focused on what's going on the set and him and the guests, and that's really the most important part. It's really not about you, and I think a lot of comics don't understand how to do that. You know, actors do. Actors have to give to another actor, so that's where it took a lot of my acting skills that way. And,
absolutely. You know, well, you fine-tuned it at Wagner College.
Yes, I did.
In theater and speech.
I did. It's amazing how everything in show business you can learn from. Like I have a degree in theater, and that was all I thought I was ever going to do.
And that's hard.
I want to be And then I went into comedy because people were like pushing me, you should do stand-up. I thought I'd do it on the side. I never knew what it really entails. And I did that. I've been doing that for 30 years. And I sang in bands. I was talking to Eddie about that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what I got from all of those different genres of entertainment came in really handy when I started doing warm-up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and comedy is an animal in itself.
All its own.
And, you know, a lot of people push me into it. I would love to do it, but it's like, it's a thing. I'm funny in person, but to put that channel on the stage and you got to keep them laughing.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. Not everybody's Jeff Parami.
No, yeah, Jeff Parami was classic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another story. We could talk for night with stories with Jeff Parami.
Yeah, we could.
Out of all the comedians that you played with, who were your most favorite that you toured with? That you could think of, you know, I know
Joey Cola, definitely.
Uh-huh.
I love Joey. I would do anything. That guy, he's a great guy and a great comic. There's a comic, Rob Bartlett from Imus in the Morning, hilarious. I mean, you know, I've been in the room with Seinfeld. I watched Seinfeld get up and work all new material. Like, what a cool thing that was, you know? You know, so things like that are just, you'll never forget that.
Now, when me and Lilo were talking with you too, you dabbled in acting, and you did some stuff with The Sopranos and Sex and the City. Background, or you had a part?
No, I had parts. The Sopranos was cool.
Tell me that one.
Because we were on, they did a reading. They're the only show I did that did this. I've done a few Law and Orders. I did Sex and the City. Sopranos reads the whole script. They get together and they read the script one day. They do a full reading. And so you walk in this huge studio.
Silver Cup.
And it's Silver Cup. And and you sit down, and we were supposed to start at 3, and it's 3:20, and everybody's there. And you're just looking around. It's like surreal. Like I'm sitting next to Paulie Walnuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And somebody goes, why aren't we going? And someone said, Jimmy's not here. And I realized they meant Gandolfini.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, in walks Gandolfini, and there's only one seat open, and it's next to me.
Oh, no.
And he walks over, and you could see how they revered him.
Yeah.
You know, they loved him. And he looks at me, and he goes, who are you? And I knew he meant my character. Thank God. Because how bad would it be? I'm Richie Byrne. Really nice to meet you. I go, I'm the referee in the soccer game.
Oh, that's what you were?
Yeah. And he goes, oh, that's a cool role. And I go, you want to switch? And everybody laughed but him.
Oh, really?
And he just looked at me. He goes, you a comedian? I go, yeah. He goes, we get a lot of comedians on the show. And that was it. And we went on with the reading.
And he's a sweetheart, too.
Yeah, they loved him. You could see it.
That's the part where Janice beat up the lady.
Yeah. I'm the referee.
I never even noticed that.
I had a lot more, but a lot of it, you know how it goes.
I got to watch that now and watch your face on there.
It turns down to me just going, ladies, what are you doing? Like, that was about it. That's all I got.
That was a great scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. She was great. She was great to work with.
You're lucky you got a speaking part on there. We auditioned. I did a lot of background work, but I tell you, I wouldn't trade it in for the world. I had such a beautiful time.
It was so much fun. Too. Yeah.
Working with those guys?
Yeah, and then Sex and the City was great. We shot it in Atlantic City, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, wow. How was Jessica Parker, right?
She was pregnant and sick, and I felt so bad for her because she was such a pro. We shot for 14 hours, and she was green. And whenever they said, we're rolling, she somehow wasn't green anymore. Mm-hmm. And I gave her she was a lot of fun. She was really sweet to be around.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now, Richie, that's your time. Where could people find you on
New Year's
social media?
Oh, social media.
Well, both. Anything you want to plug.
Well, New Year's Eve, I'm going to be Seven Angels Theater in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Okay.
And find me. I'm really bad with social media.
No, not you.
And
teasing you.
Find me on Facebook. Definitely Richie Byrne, Byrne. And I am on Instagram, and I have a friend who's making me do more on Instagram.
Instagram's better than Facebook.
And that's what they tell
but
me.
Facebook's better for other things, but Instagram's more popular.
Yeah. So just find me.
We'll talk, Richie.
Yeah,
We'll
hook
do
'em up, hook 'em
TikTok,
up, hook 'em up.
And we'll do Instagram.
Everyone's telling me you should be doing little things on TikTok and all. I'm
Big
like,
time. And you're a comedian, so you should be, definitely. You got to get someone that's going to lead you. It's like leading the horse to water.
I know, but can't you just be funny?
Listen, by the time you get him to go on there, it'll have 3 of the apps out. I mean, it took me friggin' 5 years to get him on the show. Richie Byrne.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Richie Byrne at a theater near you. But the musical acts, we got the band right next to me. We got Eddie Testa. Eddie, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thank you. Great performance before.
So much, man. You were great with us.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you letting me get up and play the drums.
Hey, well, thank him because he doesn't give up his drums very.
This good-looking guy.
You sounded great.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. You too. You
This
too.
is Ilya.
I know, Ilya. He has. What nationality are you?
That's Russian. I was born there.
You look Italian. People say that.
Just a smart one.
That's an authentic name.
It is.
He's authentically Russian.
Yeah. So you're the ultimate dance, rock, soul, rhythm and blues band,
We do it all.
and you do originals as well.
Yes, we did a couple here today.
Yeah, very good. Now, listen, people that don't know you, why don't you just give us a little background, how you started, family, and where are you from where you get today?
Well, I am from Freehold. I grew up in Freehold, New Jersey, and I've been in different bands. I was with, we were Eddie and the Cruisers back in the 80s.
Yeah, so that was you.
That was us.
Yeah, Eddie and the
until the
Cruisers.
movie came out, and then it kind of went downhill from there.
Now, how did that work back then? Because when that first, everyone, Lou Martini Jr. introduced me to you.
Yes.
And then he goes, yeah, well, that's Eddie and the Cruisers. So, like, I thought you were, like, in the movie in the Eddie and the Cruisers, but then they told me the whole story.
Yeah, well, we were actually originally Fast Eddie and the Cruisers.
Okay.
And then we dropped the Fast Eddie, and then we were playing around, getting work, and we were an all original band. We didn't do any cover stuff.
Okay.
And then we got a break playing at the Stone Pony, and we did an opening act for John Eddie, and the rest was history. And then when the movie came out, it kind of killed the Eddie and the Cruisers.
So then you had to stop using it, I guess.
No,
right?
we didn't have to stop
Okay.
in New Jersey, but we had to stop everywhere else.
Oh, wow.
So in New Jersey, we owned the name Eddie and the Cruisers.
Okay.
But everywhere else that we went, New York, Connecticut, wherever, we had to stop using the name.
Cool.
And then things started changing anyway. So
Yeah, the music scene.
yeah, well, we still holding it together with the same thing we've always been doing.
Okay.
So it's a good thing. We got our little niche that we do, and like it says, we do rock stuff, we do dance stuff, we do R&B stuff. We do it all.
And you're
Motown.
playing all the time. You play a lot.
I play more than the guys want to play.
I know. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
Because I'm looking to get into a good bands like how you guys and Killer Joe.
I might need a fill-in drummer once in a while.
Listen, just give me heads up. But I heard that you're like, forget about it. You do like
roll
2-3 gigs a day.
Yeah, 3.5 hour shows, man. We just roll. We don't even take breaks.
Lou's like, I don't know if you want to play with him every now and then because he does like 2-3 shows a day.
Yeah. We try to keep busy.
Hey, listen, God bless,
Yeah, if the work's there, we take it.
Yeah. And we saw you at the Blue Grotto in Long Branch at the horse track. I happened to text him that day. Let me know when you're playing.
Were you and Lou?
Yeah.
It was nice. It was fun.
Great time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Good time.
Yeah, no, I love the band sound. I had a lot of fun watching you guys play.
Well, we appreciate that.
While I love a good cover band, I love hearing original songs.
Well, that's what makes us a little different too,
Yeah.
Not every cover band does originals. We incorporate everything together.
Yeah.
Great guys in the band. I mean, if they could be over here, I would have them sitting over here too, but there's not enough room. But Neil DeSimone on piano, Jay Maz on the sexy saxophone, Ron Haney on the bass, Jeff Hawkins on the guitar. I brought my son tonight.
Yeah.
And he was helping us out with a little guitar work. And then we call him the Russian Romeo.
Russian Romeo, I dig it. How'd you guys, who's the longest member with all of you?
Neil.
Right now, Neil.
All right.
Yeah. everybody, people change and things change.
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate. I play with some of the greatest guys around the shore area. They're all fantastic, and we're like brothers. So it's a good band,
Who were your influences growing up? Southside Johnny, of course, or not really? Because you got that
I'm
vibe.
influenced by all those guys. Yeah, obviously, I grew up in Freehold.
Yeah.
So who's my best,
Bruce.
imitation I take from the best. But I did a lot of oldies work, and I was fortunate enough to learn a lot of stuff from Gary U.S. Bonds and Bowser and Wolfman Jack shows. And,
oh, wow.
As the Cruisers, we did backup work. It's a lot of work because you would go into a show and you'd have to back up 5-6 artists. You'd have to learn their whole repertoire. And it's a long day. It's traveling, but it was fun. It was a good school.
Never got to meet Wolfman Jack.
I met him a lot of times, and then we were on a show one day, and we found out he passed.
Oh, I know, shame. I met Bowser,
Yeah, he's fun.
So now, what do you have on iTunes? I saw you got a bunch of songs, originals up there.
Yeah,
right?
we did a CD called the L Sessions.
Yes.
And it's just a bunch of stuff, a mix of everything we do. There's some rock stuff. There's some love ballads, fun songs. Just whatever comes.
Have you guys ever been in a movie as your band?
No. Would you like to put us in one?
I don't know. Maybe somebody out there watching.
Oh, we're up for it.
One of the comedies that we see.
We would definitely be good in the comedy. That's for sure.
Now, what about you? You concur?
Oh yeah. I mean, something Eddie's really modest about his originals, but they are so good. Mm-hmm. It's a real pleasure for any musician to play original music that they really, really appreciate and really love. And everybody in the band is such a good musician. And every time we do Eddie's songs, we really put our heart and soul into it because they're so good. And when you do a bunch of covers and originals, the originals have to keep up with those covers, so to speak. Yeah. If you're going to do some Springsteen songs, your originals better be on that level. And Eddie's, they really are.
I appreciate it.
They really are.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a nice compliment.
All right, maybe something like the Wedding Crashers or something like that.
The Wedding Crashers, yes. But what's next for you? What's coming up in the future in 2020?
We got a gig in 20 minutes.
The midnight show. So now listen, where can people find you on social media, website?
Well, we have Instagram,
EddieTestaBand.com.
Okay. Facebook.
Thank you for coming on the show. You and the band, you got a great bunch of musicians, and good luck in the future. We're definitely going to be seeing each other.
Listen, man, I run into you all the time.
All right, everybody, Eddie Testa.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's that time of night we got to say goodbye, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming down for our holiday Christmas special, and we'd like to thank Paulie from Nucci's Restaurant for all the years of catering that he gave us. Let's give everybody a hand. Yeah. Follow us on JohnnyPTV.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on Facebook and we are on Instagram, and we're just getting our feet wet with TikTok. But everybody have a happy holiday. What else do they celebrate, Lilo? Tell me, we're supposed to do this before. Bring out that list.
Oh, my gosh, I have a whole list.
We don't want to forget anybody. I don't want no letters in the mail.
We've got Kwanzaa. We have Three Kings Day, Las Posadas. I don't have my glasses on right now. St. Nicholas Day. I didn't know about all these holidays. Boxing Day.
Yeah, Boxing Day is the 26th now, I heard.
That is December 26th, yes. Yeah. Celebrated mostly in Great Britain, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand.
Okay.
It is when the poor are traditionally provided gifts.
Oh, nice.
Yes, very nice. And I said Kwanzaa, and then, of course, it's Christmas and Hanukkah.
And Hanukkah, of course.
Yes.
Well, happy Hanukkah to you.
Happy Hanukkah, thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Make Santa put everything in your stocking.
Ooh.
That he didn't put in mine.
Ooh.
Well, everybody, have a safe trip home. Have a happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2023. God bless. Good night.